Hello, spiritual friends, and welcome to today's live stream. I'm Cynthia Clark, your spiritual mentor, and I am excited to be sharing my collective healing series with you. Let me just get my Instagram stream started here, and we'll get going here. So today is actually the second day of or I should say the second live stream of the series on healing the collective consciousness. And I am actually going to attempt to share a slideshow with you today. So we'll see. We're actually going to go through quite a lot of information. First off, though, I want to just call in some anchors to help us with our spiritual healing. So, everybody, just take a deep breath with me. And we're going to do our first anchor, which is I anchor love deep into the earth so that all may know the ascension path. I anchor my intention of enlightenment to the whole planet so that individuals may choose the ascension path. And I anchor healing and karma balancing to the whole planet so that individuals may accelerate in their ascension path. Thank you, and so it is. Okay, so just breathe that in and we'll soak in some good anchors for today. So let me go ahead and see if I can share my screen, and hopefully this will work. This is a new software that I'm experimenting with on doing multiple streams across different platforms, and let's just see if we can get it to work. So, let me just see if I can get this to work here. Bear with me for just 1 second. All right. Okay, let's see. I think this is working now. You can see my my screen, and I am going to start here from the beginning. Okay, so we are going to be talking about healing collective trauma from sudden death. And I was essentially given this information from my spirit guides, and they told me that collective healing is actually very important work to assist the planet with our ascension. So as we raise our own vibrations personally, that is, of course, very important. But we can also do group manifesting together, and we can actually help the entire planet when we do these focused intentions around different aspects of life where we have created traumas. So today we're going to talk about the two types of trauma relating to sudden death, and we're going to do a collective healing together. And then I'm also going to be giving you an opportunity to reconnect with any of your lost loved ones who you may want to communicate with from the other side. And hopefully, once we heal some of the trauma around this, it will be it'll be easier for you to hear them or connect with them, at least in an energetic way. All right, so that is our agenda for today. And we are going to be talking about two types of trauma. The first one is just from dying suddenly. Okay, so this is referring to you dying suddenly from a past life, holding some karmic wounds from that death. And what it creates is a soul fragmentation. So let's say in your last lifetime, you maybe you drowned suddenly, for example. That could create a trauma that could carry into this life. And we're going to talk about how that shows up. We're also going to look at trauma that represents witnessing a loved one dying. So, for example, if you had a mother or a father or a pet, someone in your life who passed away and it was unexpected, even if it was expected, it can create a trauma. But if it was unexpected, especially, that could definitely create a trauma. And it could be from this life or it could be from another life too. So these are the types of traumas we're going to look at today. So I want you to look at your hands today as well. This is something that has come up, over and over and over again in my readings over the years. I've been reading hands. For those of you who don't know me, I've been reading hands professionally now for 17 years. And a lot of people have some misperceptions around the lifeline. So the lifeline is the major line located in your hand. It wraps around your thumb ball right here, and it represents your vitality and your stability, also the quality of your root chakra. So it actually doesn't tell you how long you're going to live. All right, your hands, especially the lines, change over time. So, for example, if you have a short lifeline, like this example here in the picture, that is not an indication that this person would die young, but rather we read it as the root chakra is weak. Okay, so especially the base of the lifeline, we read that as the quality of the root chakra. Okay, now that's not to say that this isn't problematic. I definitely would be talking to this person about their sense of safety and security, their home situation. There could definitely be any number of reasons why they would carry trauma and have a weak root chakra. But we don't predict the end of a person's life because we do know that these lines change. And I've tracked people now for some people as long as 17 years now. And I've definitely seen changes in people's hands over this amount of time. All right. So this is something that has long been perpetuated in palmistry videos, and it really bothers me that anybody would make this type of prediction from reading someone's hand, because I think it also creates a trauma. It also creates stress for the person reading it. By the way, we did clear this last week. So this is our second live stream on healing collective trauma. So if you missed that live stream, I recommend going back to watching last week's live stream because we go through all of the ways that trauma gets created in the hands. Okay, so that was the first one that I wanted to start with. All right, so looking at a strong lifeline, Okay, here's an example of a strong lifeline I just randomly picked out from my collection. And so here's the full hand here on the left. And we can see this is the lifeline right here. And it does have maybe just a little bit of stress, maybe in the early part of the line. What we're looking for is a clear line. Okay, so a strong, clear line that doesn't break, that doesn't fade, things like that, that doesn't cut short, that doesn't double. You know, we're looking for stuff like that. So, because the line you can think of like rivers of energy, it's how your vitality is expressing. So you can think of like a tree, right? A healthy tree is going to have a nice tall trunk, and it's going to have roots that go deep into the ground, and it's going to be reaching up to the sky with its beautiful leaves. You can think of this lifeline in a similar way. And so you can ask, you know, what is the quality of the line? What is it doing? You know, does it have, you know, things going on? Now, it does have a little bit of a fork over here, which is common, by the way. I see, we call this a traveler's fork, super, super common to see. But this is definitely a fairly strong lifeline, at least in, there's of course, other things in the hand that are not strong, but the lifeline is. All right, so you can look at your own lifeline, you can look at both hands, and you can see, you know, what's happening with that. All right, so let me just stop sharing here for just 1 second and see if this works. And I wanted to just jump in here to ask you guys, making sure that you're seeing everything that I'm showing you, was if you can just post in the comments that you were able to see the video that I was just showing you with the hands. Because this is the first time that I'm actually testing this out. I want to make sure I don't go through the entire presentation and you guys aren't seeing it. Okay, I got 1 thumbs up. Okay, so that must be, and you can put something in a comment too. Okay, Chuck says you can see it. And you can hear me okay too, yes. Because that's the other thing that I've been really experimenting with is my sound. I brought in my microphone today to make sure you guys could hear me really well. I had some sound issues from last week, so I want to make sure I get it going good. So, all right, well, thank you for that comment. So now we will continue, and I'll share my screen again. And let's make sure I can do this properly again. I'll get faster at this as I get going. But yeah, let's run back in here. Okay, so we're gonna go from this slide. All right, now I wanted to give you guys some examples of people who actually died young. All right, because this is always something that I'm fascinated with, and I do actually have 2 friends of mine who died quite young, under age 40, both of them. This is the picture of my friend who died at age 25. All right, and I actually tracked her hands for multiple years. I would say about 3 years before she died. And she did have a tragic death that was an accident, and she fell from a mountain. So, unfortunately, I think it was probably pretty traumatic. And so looking at her hand, I wanted to see what I could see in her hand that would maybe indicate this. All right. And I'm going to take you through a couple of hands here. But this one is really interesting. So here's her lifeline. And you can see here that we have this sort of fade out right here. Okay. And I blew it up over here on the right. You can really see how the lifeline starts here. And it's not super strong, right? We've got some islands going on. We've got some stress. And then it's got this little fade out. And then it fades back in. And then it looks like it's, gets a little bit stronger here. And then we've got this like influence line right here. And then we've got this part right here where it sort of doubles. So definitely I would say that the key area to look at would be right here, this fade out part of the palm on the lifeline. Okay. Now, I remember talking to her when she was alive that she really needed to be more careful. She was such a daredevil and she was always taking risks. And I was genuinely worried about her because I could see that her vitality was really getting depleted. And unfortunately, it just, it didn't work out. And I was very sad about this when this happened. But here is an example of, what your lifeline can really look like if you're having some difficulty. Now, could she have recovered from it? Maybe. Or maybe it was just her time, right? We also look at the eternal nature of the soul, and we know that, we all have an expiration time, and we don't always know when that is. But maybe she learned everything she needed to learn by the time she was 25, and she was ready for something else. So, from our human perspective, we don't really know, but it is interesting that we could see this in her lifeline. All right. So let me take you to another example. And this was another friend of mine, and she died at age 37. Okay. And what happened with her, let's take a look at her lifeline. We can see it's fairly strong right here at the start. And then we also have this little fade out. Okay. So you can see right there, the fade out, very similar to the last one, right? And then we look again. It looks like it gets stronger for a little while. And then we have another fade out right here. Okay, so she's really got two sections of her lifeline that are quite weak. And ideally, the lifeline is going to be the strongest line in your hands. And I would say on her hand, definitely that is not the case. I would actually say her headline was stronger than her lifeline. And that can sometimes happen like that, but you want to take a look at that in your own hands. So her root chakra was also pretty weak. If you look down here, we have sort of a stop right here, and then, it goes into this empty space right here. So yeah, she had these lines over here. These could have been maybe some reinforcement lines trying to strengthen it up again, but they're clearly pretty detached. And it wasn't, I would consider this configuration pretty problematic. All right, so that's another example. So let's talk about how sudden death trauma actually appears in the energy field. Okay, so we can have, like I've been talking about this whole time, the blocked or fragmented root chakra. So again, looking at the lower part of the lifeline, sudden death trauma can cause soul fragmentation, making a person feel ungrounded, unsafe, or disconnected from life. So we really want to feel like we're safe in our body, we're safe in our home or wherever we're living, and we want to feel like we belong here on the planet. I know a lot of light workers sometimes don't feel that, which can be really stressful. So we want to strengthen this root chakra. Okay, so it can also appear as karmic echoes in the auric field. Okay, so energetic imprints of a past life, sudden death, like I was saying earlier, if you were drowning, if you had, gone to war and had to fight, maybe you were executed. Definitely, these are some of the things that I've become aware of in my own past life history. Is that, yeah, I had some deaths that maybe were not so pleasant. And if you're here on Earth and you've been here a bunch of times, that can definitely create some stress. And so how it can manifest is as an irrational fear, right? You might be afraid of, just random things, and you don't know why. Sometimes this can happen when you go to a place, for example. Like I just recently got back from Rome in Italy, and I definitely had a bit of unease there. Definitely not like some of the other locations in Italy that felt a little lighter and happier. So I think something might have happened to me in Rome that maybe wasn't so pleasant. We can also experience chronic nightmares. If you have a nightmare that's repetitive and it keeps coming back year after year, that is definitely a sign that you need to heal something. Or if you have a chronic body pain, maybe you have, just some tension in a particular part of your body or an injury that just keeps coming up over and over again. That could be an indication of something that is wanting to heal. We can also experience these phantom sensations as it can be physical pain, right? So if a person died suddenly in a past life from, say, a stab wound or heart failure or a car accident or whatever it is, you might still carry this phantom pain. So it might not even be from any actual accident that you had in this lifetime. But it is possible that you could still carry it energetically. For example, if you go get a massage, and it's like, wow, suddenly like the massage therapist pushed down on a part of your body and you're like, gosh, that's really tender. That could be from a phantom past life, chronic pain. Okay, so that's another way that we can identify it. We also can have an unconscious fear of the unexpected. Okay, so people with sudden death imprints often struggle with control issues, extreme anxiety, or a need to always feel prepared. Okay, so if you're one of these like control freaks, that could be because you've got sudden death trauma in your energy field. And we have to, when we heal that, it actually allows us to surrender a little bit more because we trust in the universe a little bit more, right? We realize that, hey, I don't need to be in control of everything to know that I'm okay, right? So we want to definitely let go of any extreme anxiety. Another challenge can be hypervigilance and certain PTSD responses. So if you just feel like you're on edge, or if you're worried that something bad is going to happen, and especially if it doesn't have like a logical cause associated with it, then you could have this in your energy field. There's also the fear of completing certain actions. Okay, so for example, if you avoid certain activities, like maybe you don't like to go to the ocean, maybe you don't like driving, maybe you're afraid to get in an airplane, these could definitely be signs that you have an unconscious trigger and a past life trauma. Maybe there's a place, like I said, Rome, Italy was a little bit dark for me energetically, but it was a beautiful place and I still had a really good time there. But it's interesting to just feel the energy of different locations. and now that I'm in Sedona, I love Sedona. I'm so happy to be here because I just feel so safe here and so loved here and grounded. I mean, I love everything about Sedona where I live. So it's nice to find that. And if you don't feel that where you're actually living, you might want to consider moving. Maybe there's another place that could be a lot better for you. But yeah, visiting certain places can definitely pull out of you certain like triggers, like rememberings, right? So difficulty fully embracing life. Some people with the sudden death imprints, they can experience, just like they're going to lose whatever they have. Right? So they have a fear of joy, success, or deep love. They might push away that partner that could be perfect for them because maybe they lost that partner or another partner in a past life traumatically. And then they said, never again. I'm never going to go through that again. So I'm just going to be alone in my next life. So that is definitely a trauma that we want to heal. All right, so these are the ways that sudden death trauma can definitely come up. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing for just 1 second here. And I just want to get see if there's any comments that you guys want to share. If there's anything that you have experienced that relate to those, you can let me know in the chat. But otherwise, we're going to move into our healing portion of our live stream today. So anyway, I hope that was interesting for you. So let me go ahead and let's see. I don't see any comments, so I'll just share my screen again. And I'm getting hopefully faster at this. Let's make sure the sound is on because I'm going to be doing some sound stuff as well. And all right, here we go. So this leads me to wanting to talk about the portals that are located in your palms. We have one located in each fingerprint, and we also have one located in the center part of your palm called the portal of change. All right. And for this particular healing today, I was given some information from the Pleiadian Council of Light in how to release this. So I'm going to be taking you through a process. All right. And we're going to be working with this point right here, this point of portal of change. And we're also going to be working with the left thumb, which is our portal of collective willpower. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is place your left thumb, portal of collective willpower, on your right portal of change. All right, so just go ahead and put your hand, grab your left hand, touch your right hand, and just touch that middle part of your palm. Now, the symbol here, this is called the clearing symbol. Okay, so in a lot of my automatic writings, I will get transmissions, and sometimes they will come in the form of symbols. Okay, so this symbol is going to help you to clear the energy. All right, and I'm also going to be playing my tuning fork. I brought my planetary tuning forks today, and the first one we're going to play today is for the planet Uranus, and the tone is 414.72 hertz. All right, so this is the also very close to the undoing tone in the solfeggio frequencies. So I'm going to play this to start with. I want you guys just to hold that, hold your left thumb to your right hand, the middle part of your hand, and focus on this symbol and imagine that symbol going right into your right palm. All right. And we're going to just go through a little protocols to clear for you. All right. So I'm going to be reciting an invocation for you. And you can just follow along. Left thumb, portal open, so that I may claim my divine birthright of collective willpower. As part of the collective, I now choose to clear any and all trauma in any lifetime and all dimensions, that the trauma of sudden death of myself or being the witness of sudden death of another human, animal, or other beloved life form be completely cleansed, purged, dissolved, and transmuted back to the earth as compost now. I feel the nutrients being received by Gaia to strengthen her, assist her in the ascension path in total love and harmony now. Thank you, and so it is. And then I want you to feel this energy going into the earth through the bottom of your feet to the core of the earth, like compost, like food for the earth. So let it all go out of your system. Okay. Okay, so that's our first clearing. All right, so now we're going to move into our second one. And our second one is going to be connecting to another portal. And this one is called Left Saturn, which is your portal of karmic neutralization. All right, this portal will assist you in neutralizing this karma for the collective. All right, and here's the symbol that we want to focus on. Okay, so this is actually the symbol for the Akashic Archives, and we put the fractal behind it to connect with our multidimensional selves. All right, so now I want you to focus again on your left hand, and particularly the left middle finger, which is the one that we call Saturn. All right. Now for this clearing, we're going to do a solfeggio tone, and it's called the 369 hertz. Okay, this particular tone assists in clearing feelings of guilt and fear, and it will help to release stress and tension. All right, so how I want you to do this one is I want you to focus on that symbol going right onto your left middle fingerprint, okay? And you're going to place this finger on your right hand portal of change. Okay, so taking your left middle finger, putting it on your right hand, right in the center part of your palm. All right, and just picture that symbol right there. Okay, and I'm going to play the next tone. All right. Now, moving your attention to left Saturn. Left Saturn, portal open to the portal of change, as I now claim my divine birthright of karmic neutralization. I now release, disperse, dissolve all dissonant energy relating to sudden death, witnessing sudden death, or if I was the cause of sudden death in all dimensions and all timelines now. I now choose to return back to love, back to light, back to harmony, peace, and tranquility in the arms and warm embrace of the cosmic heart. I choose to remember that all beings are infinite, including me, and that death is only a transition back to spirit. And just inhale that in. All right. And that's our next tone. And before we move on to that, I'm actually going to come off of this. All right. Okay, so that's our second balance. We're going to do another one, which is with my singing bowl. Okay, and for this part, what I want you to do is just bring your two hands up and bring it up to your heart. All right, and this is where we're going to call in any loved one that you want to connect with. All right, so for this part, you can just go ahead and close your eyes, and you can just feel, now that we've woken up these portals, right? Your hands might be buzzing. I don't know. You can let me know. But what I like to do is take this portal of change on both hands and line them up like this, and then bring it here. Okay. So when we do that, that lines up our heart with the cosmic heart. Okay. So I'm going to play my my heart chakra singing bowl for this section. All right. So you go ahead and just bring your hands up there and just close your eyes. And hopefully you can hear this. If there is a particular loved one that you wish to call on, do so now. Tell them I love you now and always. And go ahead and just ask them to come in, ask them to speak to you, ask them to communicate with you. Please come in and bring me a message. Allow yourself to receive any messages that may be appropriate for you to hear. Let yourself receive the message loud and clear. And whatever came in for you, just be grateful. You might, if you didn't receive anything, by the way, you might receive it later. So sometimes there is a delay when you put in a request. Spirits have busy lives as well, right? So what I want you to do now is bring your awareness back to the portals. Let them be bathed in violet light. And you can keep your hands right here on your heart, okay? Just keep your eyes closed. Just feel all your fingertips. And let this light permeate your DNA. Let this light permeate your cellular structure, your entire body, your essence, your auric and etheric fields. Be completely engulfed in the healing violet light, the flame of transformation. Thank you, and so it is. And you are now free of this karmic burden. You may release your hands and you may notice what might be feeling different. Okay, so this is an example of palm portal healing, collective healing. Definitely something that we could all use right now. So this work is designed to really raise the vibration of the planet, which is something that we need to do for our ascension. As we are moving into a higher dimensional realm, we need to raise our own personal vibratory set point, but we also need to raise the collective vibratory set point of the entire planet. And so that's what this collective healing is all about. And so, by the way, next week, I will be doing this again next week. And we're going to be focusing on the trauma around slavery. Okay, so if you have been a victim of slavery in any lifetime, or if you were someone who had slaves in any lifetime, this would apply to both sides of the coin, right? So that's something that we're going to look at. And I also wanted to just share with you a little information about a program that I created that you might be interested in. And so I am going to share my screen again one more time before we wrap up. And let me just pull this up. And here we go. So I have a program called the Diamond Heart. And so if you have emotional stress, right? And this actually shows up in your energy field and in your heart line. It shows up in, there's 10 chambers that are actually I call them the heart chambers, that are located in your hands. And you can actually see the different emotional stress that you're holding through some of the minor lines in your hands. So something that I have been called to create is to help people release these emotional stresses. And so what we're doing today, obviously, is with the collective, but you may have personal things that you need to clear that are more specific to you and your life. So that's what the Diamond Heart is all about. And it's a pathway of ascension. So it's a 3-month program. And what it does is it is going to help you unlock this emotional freedom. It's going to help you dissolve, especially the critical feelings that you may be having about yourself. A lot of people struggle with self-worth and confidence, like self-confidence, being able to step into your power, fully stepping into your power. We also want to open up the pathway to unconditional love, which is one of the 7 aspects of ascension, is we need to access these higher states of love and bliss. So when you do this and you release some of these trapped emotions, shame, guilt, fear, all of these, self-criticism, self-loathing, what it does is it helps you to actually step into your full power, and it brings you peace. It puts you in your ascension path. It helps you to really take charge of your life in ways that you can't even imagine. This is actually something I've been working on for, I would say at least 10 years. I'm trying to think of how long. At least 10 years I've been working on this. So I've put a lot of things together into this program that I have personally learned over these last 10 years, as well as my expertise in hand analysis and energy healing, and then the channelings I've been receiving from the archangels and the ascended masters in the higher dimensional realms, the galactic realm. And so I have a course now that you can sign up for. And this is a 3-month course. So you can either go to ascension17.com/courses, and then you can just find this course on that page. I do have other courses as well, but you can find Diamond Heart Emotional Ascension. Or if you want, you can even just put Diamond in the comments and I will reach out to you personally. So anyway, that is something that I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on, because it is a new program that I just started. So that concludes today's live stream. Oh, Kathy's here. Oh, yay. I love reading who's here. Oh, yay, you cry. Oh, you're so sweet. Wonderful to release so much deep pain. Oh, I love you so much too, Catherine. Oh, I love you. Yes, much gratitude to you as well. And this live stream series is right up your alley, Kathy. I definitely recommend you go back and watch last week's if you didn't make it. And definitely come next week as well. So same time, same place next week. Jean, yes, thank you. So good to see you as well. I love all of you guys. I'm very grateful to be here for you. And we're on this ascension path together. So as always, I wish everyone here infinite abundance, and let's ascend together. So if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. But otherwise, I'll see you all next week. So take care, everyone. Okay, bye.